getting America back on track. Bill Martinez live.
And that's our mission, our goal, okay, together, all of us, activated citizens and patriots of this great country of ours, to get this country back on track. We got to keep our eye on the ball. We're moving the line a bit. I mean, when you think it wasn't that long ago, 7 out of 10 agreed that we're on the wrong track. 6 out of 10 still agree that we're on the wrong track. I say, okay, we've reduced it by 1, so let's just keep moving in the right direction here to get this country back on track. We're opening the phone lines at 877-317-6432, 877-317-6432. What we want to talk about here right now is our healthcare system. You know, President Trump said, hey, look at, we've got, we're going to be looking at terrific healthcare. And I said, okay, what does terrific healthcare look like? And I'm not sure we're getting that from Congress. But Scott Wheeler is with us on the line right now. Scott is the executive director of National Republican Trust, what they call the GOP Trust, and a former TV producer and investigative journalist. Hey, Scott, good to have you with us. How you doing?
Good. How are you, Bill?
Hey, I'm doing terrific. So the president says terrific healthcare. In your perspective, what does terrific healthcare look like for you?
Well, I think first it starts with freedom of choice in who you get as a provider and who you get as your insurance company, and that's something we don't have right now, thanks to Obamacare. And it also goes back 30 years. We've had government interference in insurance, and that's what really gave us HMOs to begin with. We have a real problem in understanding this. Even on both sides, I hear conservatives say things that don't really fall into the category of the law of large numbers, which is what insurance deals with. The other side is that the Democrats pretend that everybody has to have a universal health care policy in order for everyone to be insured and have health care. And that's just patently false. There are many ways. In fact, I drafted a plan years ago where you take over buildings that are abandoned in inner cities, but the uninsured tend to be mostly in the same areas around the country and in urban areas. You take over buildings and you renovate them, make them public hospitals, and then you allow doctors who have student loans to pay off. You allow them to donate their time, certain amount of time, and work off their debt while their have a regular practice. They donate at a clinic and hospital, and they treat people who don't have insurance or who can't get insurance. And so you would have centers around the country where people could get treatment who can't get care or who can't afford care. You also have Medicaid, which was the big lie that poor people were dying in the streets because they couldn't get health care. You've had Medicaid for the poor for more than 20 years, 30 years.
Well, that's where the Democrats are real good in igniting the fear. They fearmonger and take a very small percentage of people who are affected and turn it into something. But, they're perpetrators of lies, and that's, unfortunately, that's what quagmires this whole process here. And as you say, the other thing, too. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, absolutely. One of the biggest lies that Obama told, and this is a bold-faced lie during the run-up to passage of health care, his Affordable Care Act was, he said over and over again that once his health care bill would pass, no longer would health insurance companies be allowed to cancel you for getting sick. Well, it had been against the law in all 50 states for more than 2 decades. The only reason a health insurer anyone could cancel you for being sick was for non-payment of premium. That's the only thing.
Exactly.
You could never be canceled for any reason.
Right. Well, Scott, I think you brought some good ideas. I appreciate you chiming in on this. And you'd mentioned that before when we had talked about these empty buildings utilization of product. But these are ideas that are out there, and this starts to address some of these issues and some good ideas. Karin Smith is with us right now. She's from originally from South Africa. She now lives in Texas, is an immigrant. And Karin, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, thank you, JJ. Yourself?
Well, this is Bill Martinez, not Jake.
Sorry,
I don't know.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. Not a worry. But I mean, if you start changing my name, it's going to confuse Scott, and it'll confuse me, and that's then we have all kinds of fun here.
Each other.
Yes, exactly. Well, Karin, the president talks about terrific health care as an immigrant, coming here to America, from South Africa. What does world-class health care look like for you? What's your opinion on this?
Well, certainly not what it is under Obamacare. I personally had a terrible experience with the healthcare system here last year. I needed 3 surgeries, and firstly, I couldn't get covered. I didn't qualify for Obamacare because I wasn't a citizen yet, which I am now. And
congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. It was a long, hard, expensive road, but I finally made it.
Good.
The problem here is that you pay a fortune for your health care. I can only tell you what it doesn't look like from my perspective. So we pay $480 a month. The company pays $480 a month. So that's $1,000 a month. Then our deductibles are $2,000 a year, and our out-of-pocket are $15,000 a year. How do you use that health care? How do you use it? I desperately needed life-saving surgery and couldn't use the health care that was literally killing us to pay for.
So here it is. So basically, you just had a health care card. You didn't have anything. That card is worthless. It's just a card.
That is one thing that Sean Spicer says that is correct. You've got the card, but it doesn't mean you've got coverage.
Yeah. You got the card. You got the card, and that gives you the privilege to pay these exorbitant fees for something that you're not going to be able to utilize.
Absolutely, Bill. But I will say this about the healthcare system here: your hospitals mainly have some kind of charity input, and if you qualify for that, they give you excellent, and I do mean excellent care with their charity donations paying your deductibles. So I was very, very lucky. But for me, good health care would be accessible to everybody. I mean, I'm 63. Why am I paying for abortion and the pill and all kinds of child care issues? I don't need that. I'm never going to need that again.
Right.
So that just pushes your thing up. It would be accessible to everybody and really affordable. And for those who are really poor, there are clinics, we have them in South Africa, free clinics that you can go to and get anything taken care of for about R3, which is 30 cents in this country. So we could cover it that way. But why? The healthcare bill that they proposed now, I'm really glad it failed. I am a Trump supporter, but I'm really glad it failed because it didn't help us. It helps.
Yeah, they need to go back to the drawing board, no doubt about it, and that's what they're doing. For those that have declared the demise of this effort, it's a little premature because the GOP leadership is connoitering once again back to the drawing board. Karin, thank you so much for being with us. I'm Bill Martinez. We're live. The conversation continues. Thank you for calling in. It's 15 minutes after the top of the hour.